Evening, my name is Melissa, and her name is Wilderlin. We're
Okay.
students from EP. We're from the second year, and today we want to make some questions about your company and know more about the company of Aruba Aloe Vera.
Okay, perfect.
Our first question is, why are you guys in business?
That's a good question to start with. And it's basically quite simple. We are in business because we want to prove that an Aruban company can be a global operating company. Yes, it's about money and making profit and those kind of things, but basically what our ambition or our reason for existence, we want to prove that an Aruban company from a small island can be a global operating company.
Okay. Who are your customers?
We have two kind of customers. We have end customers, so that is maybe you using our products, and we have business customers. Customers buying our product and they resell it to end customers or other businesses.
Okay. What image of your business do you convey?
Convey, you mean what we think is good, right? I think it's the image that we have, the image of the pure aloe gel that comes from our fields. That's the most important part for us. Yeah.
What are the nature of your products?
Lotions, creams, sunscreens is very important. Those are the Aruba Aloe brands. Now these days we make sugar cubes as well, or scrubs, those kind of products. But originally it was a cream, burn cream with aloe and lotions with aloe. Yeah.
What determine the price and quality?
Sorry?
What determine the prices and quality?
We aim also in our strategic values that our quality cannot be jeopardized. So quality is absolutely number one in everything we have. We have people on the production floor. We call that quality control people. They wear red uniforms. If one of those persons says stop, the factory stops. The factory stops. And the production manager or the plant manager, they can scream whatever they will. If the quality guy says stop, it stops. That's the core part. So that is for us is very, very important. The pricing is we want to be in the medium price, above medium price, but not in the luxury part, not in the luxurious segment, but one segment you have medium, but just a little bit above the medium. That defines the pricing, and if sales goes well, then perfect. If sales doesn't go well, we review pricing, packaging, and those kind of things.
What level of service does the company provide?
High level of service, I would say. In the stores, we give information. We have social media. We have customer care. We have internet. People can call. I think we keep a very high standards on customer service. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Which are the products that are sold at most in your company?
I can't give you the specific details, but we have a few high runners like the gels, like Alcolada, Vitamin E. Those are very popular, but also the lotions that we have, but also the Alidran, which is one of our best sellers as well. So it's a variation of a few products that are selling very well.
What are all its services that your company provides to its customers?
What kind of services?
What are all the services that you provide to the customers?
No, I would say we sell products. That's
Okay.
the service that we give. If you want to go one step deeper, is we sell confidence to people. If you use our products, you feel confident about your skin, about how you feel. We have people with burn spots on their hands, and if you use Alidran or one of our other creams, they go away, or it repairs a lot better. That gives you a lot more confidence. It makes you less insecure. If you're burned by the sun, aloe is one of the best products. So in principle we sell a product, but if you want to take one step deeper, is we sell care for yourself. We sell precaution, we sell repair of the skin, where afterwards you feel a lot better than you were before. You know, if you want to go in that deep mental part. Yeah.
Where do you look for the products that you sell in your company?
Everywhere. And I mean, the products that we buy, you mean packaging, ingredients, and
Yes,
those kind of
all
things?
the things.
We look everywhere. We look in China, we look local market, which is very important for us. But if it's not here, or the pricing is way off, like again, we look in China, we look in Korea, we look in the United States, we look in Europe, we look everywhere where we can get the best quality and the best price to get it together.
But which part you look at most, where you buy the most the products?
That depends on the item. For packaging, we look a lot like in China, because that's where you get the best price. But for ingredients, we might look to Europe or to the United States.
Okay. How many branches do your company have?
In Aruba, we got 16 with the stores. So if you count each store a branch. In the world, we got 3. One here, or actually 16, but one main branch with 16 smaller branches. One in the United States, in Indianapolis, and we got one in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you unit with some other company that does that same service that you do?
I'm sure there are other companies that, you know, do similar things that we do.
In Aruba?
Sorry?
In Aruba?
No, in Aruba not. I would say you have a few smaller companies now that make, for example, soaps or scrubs. So, you know, you see more and more of those smaller companies. But I don't think yet you can compare them with us from a size and a scaling perspective. If you look in the Caribbean, you might have a few other ones. You might have in...
Sir, sorry for interrupting. One more.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Boa tarde.
If my daughter is here, can you put her in the kitchen for...
Boa tarde,
Marcus?
boa tarde.
Yeah, I'm just finishing. Hey there,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank
Good.
you. And you?
Good, thank you. So, there might be companies in the Caribbean that are using the same kind of things, but I don't know what their strategy is or whatever it is. Worldwide, there are a lot of companies like us. If it's not with aloe, there might be with coffee, there might be something else. There's a lot of small, you know, boutique companies in personal care. There's a lot of small companies. But you have them in wines, you have them, you know, there's multiple small companies in the similar scale of us that do the things that we are doing.
Perdón.
Empieza tú. Esa pregunta es...
Who is the founder of the company?
The founder is Cornelis Eeman. He founded the company in 1890, so that's 130 years ago. And basically the family members, they prolonged the company till 2000. And in 2000, Louis Posner, also an Aruban, he took over the company from the Eeman family. And since 2014, we have a second shareholder, which is Onno van Romond, also an Aruban. So we have 100% Arubans owning the company right now.
Okay. When was the company founded?
In 1890.
1890.
1890, yeah, 130 years ago. That's a long time, no? Oldest company. And we believe the oldest company, the oldest aloe company in the world as well. Yeah.
What was the main reason or the inspiration behind this company?
Cornelis Eeman was a trade person. And when Aruba Aloe was founded, it had nothing to do with personal care at all. It was with the yellow sap. If you cut an aloe, you see the yellow sap.
Yeah.
The aloe, we call it. We also call it the black gold. Why? Because what they did, you cut the aloe, you collect the orange sap. By the way, if you take the orange sap in your mouth, start running to the bathroom because it's extremely laxative on that part. But they collected all those yellow sap and they start cooking it. 8 to 10 hours they cooked the yellow sap. After that they put it in crates and they let it dry. And when it became dry, it became black. And like a big black rock in crates. And that was sold all around the world on that side. So that's why it is called the black gold, because once you cook it, it turns black. And in 1920, Aruba was the global leader in the alloying trade. And therefore, you see it in the code of conduct from Aruba, you see the alloy logo, you see it on the houses. It was the first economic boost of the island that was driven by alloy. So it was the trade that was first. Then around the 1960s, there were all kinds of alternatives for that for the alloy. Synthetic, which is more chemical alternatives. And then the company started thinking, what can we do more with aloe? And then they made a burn gel, just one gel, which was more a gel kind of product from, of course, the gel from the aloe. And around the 1980s, they started to make personal care products. So the company went, through different stages on product development as well.
How many employees do the company have in each department? Or
at the moment, we have about 123 employees, of which about 40, I would say, working in retail. We have about 60 people working in production and logistics. And the other 20, I would say, is supporting staff that we have, which is finance, HR, marketing, sales, those kind of things. Yeah.
okay. How many departments Aruba have?
We have, if you look to the different departments, we have production, of course. We got maintenance. We got logistics. We got R&D. We got quality control. We have marketing, we have retail sales, we have HR, we have finance, we have customer care, and legal and regulatory. So I would say in total we have, and field, so we have 12 departments in total.
How long have you been with the company?
4 years.
4 years?
Yep.
Okay. What was the last big achievement that was celebrated?
I think last year we have a kind of black and white situation. Last year we had a huge order coming from the US, from FabFitFun. That's a kind of beauty box, an online social media beauty box. And they placed an order for a couple of million of jars. And we only got 3 months to fulfill that order and produce that order and ship it to the United States. That product, we succeeded in that. We had to double the number of people. So instead of the 120, we had almost 250 people working on that moment for us. So we had a huge amount of training to do with those people. First of all, the recruitment and those kind of things. It was a project for 3 to 4 months, and we delivered on time, the quality on time, and at the end, it was over 2 million products that we produced. And those products went to Asia, China, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, all over the world. And I think that's one of the proudest things that we have. Next to that, which is a great achievement, I'm also as proud as where we are today. Today is an extremely difficult situation due to COVID, and that is hitting us hard as well. And so far we have been able to maintain the company, have the 123 people that were working for us at the beginning of the year. They're still with us, and we're pretty confident that we can keep everybody on board. So it might not be the financial great success as that we had last year, but keeping everybody on board in these very challenging times, I think that's a great achievement as well so far.
Does this company have a dress code?
Yes, we have. The stores have a uniform. It's always a black or white T-shirt with the logo on it. That's from the company with no jeans in the stores, but it's khaki pants, I believe, or black. So that is mandatory. Production have their own uniforms. Those are special gear because there's color differences as well. Light blue is for the production associates, dark blue is for the supervisors, red is for quality control, and green is for if there's alu cutting and those kind of things. The field workers have their uniforms as well. And for the office staff, you need to be dressed properly. You can wear jeans, but no holes in the jeans, so no fashionable jeans. It's just you need to be nicely dressed, but no ties, no suits are mandatory on that part.
Yeah. What activities do you offer for employees?
Yeah, we do a lot of activities. We have happy hours, we organize barbecues, we do karaoke, we do carnival night. Normally we have Halloween parties, but unfortunately, of course, not there.
Yeah.
We do our Christmas parties. We do on Mother's Day and Father's Day. We have gifts for the fathers or for the mothers. We celebrate birthdays. We do quite a lot, I would say, for all the employees. For the retail staff, we have regular small gifts like a fruit basket or fresh cut fruit because they're all the day in the store. So all kind of different things to motivate staff.
Okay. What was the department's biggest challenge last year, and what did you learn from?
I would say last year, and it's not one department, I think that is for the whole company, that was the project that was so successful.
Yeah.
We had 3 months to recruit 150 people, screen them, do interviews, get them trained, get them dressed, get the project running. We had to work from, let's say, 7:30 to 4:30 to 3 shifts a day. So we doubled shifts. We had to work from 7 in the morning to 11 o'clock in the evening. So that was beyond everything we have done before. So I would say that was the biggest challenge that we had as a total company on that part.
What do I need to work here?
I think, the first thing what you need if you want to work here, you need to be passionate, you need to be committed, and you need to be proud of Aruba. Those are core values for us. In what kind of department you work, that is completely dependent what your requirements are. But if you're not passionate, if you're not committed, and you're not proud of Aruba, then you don't fit here. That's a very thing. Why it's so important? For example, proudness of Aruba. Yeah, proudness of Aruba. I'm Aruba. Yeah, but you need to be if you sell a product, you need to be proud of. I have a product here, and it's made in Aruba. Here, it's made in Aruba. And this product goes to Australia, goes to Iran, Iraq, US, Europe. You need to be in the mindset. I work here because my product that is made here in Aruba is being shipped to everywhere. So this represents Aruba. So it needs to be high quality. It needs to look fine, etc., etc. That kind of motivation you need to have to work here.
Do you have to be a specific age to work here?
No, it's I think it's is it 16, 17 the minimum age? I don't know for sure what the age is. I think 16 you can do back office stuff, and then I think 17 or 18 you can work in the store. But I'm not 100% sure on that side. It's of course when you work in finance, you need to have some feel of numbers. But you don't need to be per se an accountant because administration, you can learn that. But if you're a finance manager or you're a finance controller, you need to have a finance education. Otherwise, you cannot do that job. If you're in R&D, you need to be able to work, as a chemist, because you're working with different products and why things work, why things not work. So you need to have a chemist background. But if you're in production, as long as you have a good work ethic and you're persistent, you're accurate, which is no education, you can work in production. You can even work in sales. Last year we had a car mechanic who wanted something completely different, and he was interested in sales. So he explained to me why, but he was telling it to me as passionate, committed, and with a proudness of Aruba, because he was talking about the stories that because of his granddad, he went to the Kunuku in the past, and his granddad told him about the alo, and he had great stories. And while telling the story, his eyes lit up, and you saw the excitement, and he was proud of it, and it gave him good memories back. That for me was sufficient, because when he does that in the store, and an American is coming here, and he hears that, the American is going to buy the product. So we hired a car mechanic to be a sales associate, and he became one of the better sales associates. Why? Because he is persistent. Of course, we had to train him on sales and some tips and tricks. But if you have the right mindset, you can succeed in whatever you want to do. From a marketing perspective, you can be on a marketing department without a huge marketing background, but you need to have a kind of feeling for it. Marketing is representing the brand. So if you don't feel any passion or proudness of Aruba, you might have the highest marketing degrees. I'm not going to hire you, because marketing is representing the brand. Social media, if you're not used in social media, etc., I'm not going to hire you on a social media position. You can get a lot of education and those kind of things on social media, but if you on your private life are very active, that's already a good foundation. My daughter is 100 times, maybe 200 times faster, more knowledgeable about all the things you can do with social media than me. So, if you have somebody that is handy, that understands what works, if it's somebody that has a lot of followers, because that's the kind of content that he or she is posting, that for me is already important, because it shows that somebody understands it. So, education, yes, it is important, but it's for me what is important is how do you proceed with it towards your potential employee. If you say, yeah, but I'm qualified, and you go to a company and say, yeah, but I'm qualified, why are you not hiring me? Because it has nothing to do with your CV. It has about your motivation, about where you want to work, how does it fit your profile, and those kind of things. If that is not matching, don't expect them to hire you. Like, I'm not hiring somebody here, and I have multiple people here, also from schools. Yeah, but look, I have my job. I have my administration diploma, so I can do the finance admin. Why are you not hiring me? Because I don't feel it. So why not? But
You don't have the motivation to do the work. That's why.
So I'm going to hire somebody who does not have any experience. I'm going to be, I'm your man or girl. I'm gonna do this. I'm willing to learn. I'm here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna make it work. I have 1,000 more confidence in that person than when he says, no, you should hire me because I have my diploma.
Yeah.
Done. What do you know about Aruba Alo? I don't know, but you should hire me. But you're laughing, but I can tell you, 8 out of 9
It happens.
people coming from school or expecting a job are like that.
Do you hope they're going to get the job if they don't know nothing about the product of the company? Sometimes you need to know a little bit about the company or something of the job that you're getting. So
At the end, it's in every pitch is, look at it like in a relationship. If you don't show any interest in another person,
yes,
it's not going to happen.
Correct.
Even if you don't know each other, if you want to get friends, you need to start talking to each other. And, you need to start asking questions. And if there is no questions asked,
you don't know nothing.
why is there, because you have a piece of paper,
Yeah, piece
it
of
doesn't work
paper.
like that. And I think the easiest thing what you can do in everything you do is when you go somewhere, if you go on holidays, at least that's what I always did, if you go on holidays, you start looking up front, where should I go? What activities do they have? How do the restaurants look like? What kind of stores do they have? And you scan, and then you make a choice. If you want to buy clothes, you're gonna look and you're gonna search. This is nice. This does fit me. This does not fit me. You do research, right? Yeah, no, I don't like those ones. So you engage, you don't like it, you put it back. And you do it, and you take the next dress or trouser, yeah, it doesn't fit, no, and you put it back. But with a job, which is even more important, we just go there and we are expected to be hired. No, what I would advise, and that's what I figure out is, did you do some research? I don't expect you to sit 24 hours behind the internet and figure out about something on the company. But these days with internet it's very easy. If you go to Aruba Alo, or tomorrow you go to the Marriott or whatever you are, take 30 minutes. You have three persons, in this case, but even as an individual, sit down behind the internet, which we do 80% of our time. Anyhow, Google Marriott Aruba, Aruba Aloe Balmenvee. What do you find? What do you find about the history? What do you find about the products? What do you find about the latest articles they placed? It's 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes. But what you can do in the conversation is, I saw that you did this on, or I visit your store and I saw, a few nice products, or I tried one of the samples, A visit takes 50 minutes of time. Research on the internet, half hour. Make it an hour. If you're not willing to make that investment, preparing yourself for something important, then ask yourself why the other one needs to hire you, or
Exactly.
need to engage, and I think that's where, it's for me what is important is how you engage. Show that you make some effort to engage. I think that's the most important part, and that will get you further in life as well.
So we are missing another student. She had questions also to ask, but since he's not here, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So why is she not here?
We arranged this, but she didn't make it.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Then I applaud you for being here.
Thank you.
No, but this is what I mean, right? If you want to achieve something, you have to make an effort, right?
Yeah.
And I applaud you that you're here and spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is, spend with me, and I will engage with you if I get engagement back. If somebody is not here, that's fine. But then but ask the questions.
Okay, I'm gonna ask questions about the organizational chart of the company. The first question is, what is the business value propositions and sources of competitive advantage?
I think the competitive advantage that we have is, and that's a little bit the business proposition as well, we work with pure fresh aloe. That comes from the field, and 48 hours it's in a bottle, in a jar, whatever it is. So, fresher than fresh, you can't get it. That's the core of the proposition. All the formulas that we're making, we start with aloe and then, do the rest. If you look to Nivea, L'Oreal, or whatever other big brand, they have a formula and they do look and they see one drop of aloe going into the lotion and they say it's aloe. That's not with us. We use that aloe that you see from
100% aloe.
100%.
Yeah. The other business, proposition or the differentiator is we do everything ourselves. So we harvest, we manufacture, we develop, we fill it, we sell it. So we control the whole distribution chain.
Okay. Which organizational activities directly deliver on that value proposition, and by contrast, which activities can the company afford to perform in a way equivalent to competition?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Which organizational activities directly deliver on that value proposition, and by contrast, which activities can the company afford to perform in a way equivalent to competition?
I think the key difference that we have is how we maintain the field, because that is unique, but also the way how we have our retail stores. I think there's not that many companies that do the same as we do on that part. We have 16 locations here, and I think we are doing that very good. That's a real differentiator, because they tell the story of Aruba Aloe. So I think that is the real thing. if you talk equivalent as the competition, once you do that, you are behind. You always need to be better than the competition.
Okay.
So, you know, that's a little bit, you could say, yeah, maybe administration-wise you can be the same as the competitor. No, what can you do better than the competition? So if you have an administration, can you do more analytics? Can you learn things quicker from it? Do you know quicker if your cost price is changing? Do you know quicker if you're behind your revenues? Are you quicker in data? You know, you always need to be better than your competitor.
Okay. Next question is, which organization structure should we choose and how do we overcome its inherent downsides?
Sorry, the last part, can you repeat the last part?
How do we overcome its inherent downsides?
I think the structure depends on where your core focus is and what you want to achieve. And in my profession and in my experience, it depends on what your priorities are. I don't believe in the traditional org chart anymore. You have a certain structure where you have marketing, finance, you know, those kind of things. But if we have a product to be developed, we set up a project team and we have somebody from finance, marketing, but they organize it. And it doesn't go via marketing supervisor or manager, and it goes to the director, and then from the director it goes to the other department, and that's the traditional way. You have to make the organization in that shape that fits on what you want to achieve. And 2 years ago we had a huge focus on retail, so all the organizational focus was on retail. And it was very clear once we sent email, and there was in the subject there was retail, everybody knew that is a priority. It doesn't matter what you're working on. If you got an email and it was retail, then that should be your priority, because retail was at that point the priority. So it's the organization moves, along with that. And I believe in functional organizations, but with the branches, for example, in the Netherlands and the US, those are extremely growing at the moment. So, for example, in the US, we are creating there our own organization. On finance, on customer services, we have our own warehouse, so we have our own logistic department, we have that separate. In the Netherlands, we manage it from here. So it's really, depending on the situation, how you want to structure your team. And it could be in 6 months, that could be different. Our organization now looks different than it was six months ago due to COVID.
Next question is, what type of leaderships and culture are required to achieve the value proposition?
The key thing for me is everybody taking their own responsibility.
Right.
And it sounds like this is all, management guru, those kind of things. But as a managing director of the company, we make millions of products on a yearly basis. I'm not able to control 1 million products. Impossible. We have quality control walking around. We have 4 people in quality control, but even quality control cannot see every bottle that goes out. But every bottle has to have the same quality. So that means that every person in the production department needs to be happy with the product that is going out. If your standard is different than your standard, then we have a problem. Right? If the label on this bottle is not straight, and you see it, but you don't say anything about it, then we have a problem. Because you should be on, no, this label is not good, and I put it back. And somebody is going to be pissed off because, why, I did it wrong, but it's fine. Right? No, it needs to be straight.
It needs to be fixed.
And you have the right to say it is not straight. And you should not be angry about it, because it happens, and that's how we correct. By doing so, and there is no punishment, but we do that because we want to be the highest quality and we want the best products, you help each other to get to the right part. So everybody has their own responsibility to take in that process, and it's my leadership style to facilitate that. That's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not following the jars now, then I help, but I'm not the expert on that side. And how I see my leadership role is I'm the conductor of the orchestra. I have specialist people, doing it, but I know the financials, I know what is important, and I know where to, twist the buttons, but I can't play violin. I can't play trumpet. I can't play the drums. But I know what they need to do to make it work. And that's a little bit my leadership style.
Okay. Our last question is, which organizational practices are required to reinforce the organizational intent?
I think one of the things that it's very important that you do regular sessions with your managers. So I have a certain vision with the directors, but I will make sure I have regular managers meetings as well, which is the level under the directors. And I do that myself, because normally I'm telling the directors and the directors telling the managers. So it's, I'm not sure if you know the story, you're not allowed to listen, I tell you a story, then you tell her the story, and then you tell her the story, and you tell my story, and then that story is not the same as the story that I told you, right? As a director of a company, you don't want that. Because I want my story, what I want to achieve with the company, needs to be the same story as what you hear. So it's very important to do regular sessions with different groups or with all the staff that hear what we want to achieve as a company. And I think that is very important to do that. Regular emails from my hand with the same consistent messaging is very, very important. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It's not really a business or organizational activity, but I think it's the strength of the repeated message. People are completely crazy with me. There is here we go. He wants to be a global, or he wants to be in a Ruben company, who wants to be a global operating company. Everybody can dream that line in this company. Because that's what I want everybody to understand. And the other way to do it is repeating it, repeating it, repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. And if you don't do that, then people get mixed up. And that's the same thing with kids. It's the same thing with